What's up, y'all? It's your boy Dawson from D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. Everybody who's donated, those of you all who will, I appreciate it. Also, check out my other YouTube channel, Dawson Speaks TV. I appreciate all the support. Thank you. Let's get into this story. Look here, this is coming out of Georgia, Gwinnett County, and it's of this bishop here, Bishop William Sheals. Now, Bishop Sheals is known in Georgia and even around in the evangelical arena or in that sector. He goes around to different churches and he preaches. And there he is with, the Kojic presiding bishop, Bishop Charles Blake. And he was preaching over at West Angeles. And, he was, preaching good and shouting and stuff because that seems to be what he loves to do. He loves to dance. He loves to get all hype like a lot of people do. A lot of people do that at church. They feel that you haven't had church unless somebody's speaking in tongues, jumping, shouting, running, laying hands, and falling out, and then you know how it goes. Now, one Sunday back at his church, Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church in Georgia, Bishop Sheals went around and he started laying hands on the members of his church. And this was doing so-called praise and worship or blessing time. And he was going around prophesying to certain members and just putting his hands upon their heads and speaking blessings to them. And he got to this one member, Yvonne Bird. And according to Yvonne Bird, Yvonne stated that the pastor came over and he laid hands upon her, but he forcefully pushed her to the ground, causing her to have a mild traumatic brain injury because she hit her head on one of the steps that was there. Now, some of y'all may say, Dawson, come on, this sounds so far-fetched. I ain't never heard nothing like this in my life. And I'm going to agree with you all. I thought this was a joke too, until I saw a little bit of the lawsuit. And then I looked at this video clip and I looked online and started doing my own research. I'm gonna let y'all watch this video and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
New tonight, a blessing gone bad. A Norcross woman says that her pastor pushed her on the forehead and knocked her down, leaving her with a serious brain injury.
Well, now she's suing that popular pastor and the church. CBS 46's Haley Mason has a copy of that lawsuit. And Haley, what are the woman's attorneys saying about, really, it's a bizarre case.
It is a bizarre case, and the attorneys are saying it's a case about negligence. A time of prayer and deliverance turned dangerous for a woman in Norcross. She says her pastor pushed her so hard during blessing time that she fell and suffered a traumatic brain injury.
Pastor William Sheals is the longtime energetic leader of the Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church in Norcross. He's known to get active with his congregation. But one Sunday during prayer and healing, Yvonne Bird got hurt.
He placed his hands on her forehead and he just shoved her.
She says when the pastor went to bless her, he pushed her so hard she fell and suffered a concussion.
She was right next to the steps. And so when the pastor shoved Miss Bird by the forehead, she fell backward and she immediately fell back, hit the back of her head and lost consciousness.
Right there in the service.
Right there in the service.
Bird's attorney says she had a mild traumatic brain injury and was diagnosed with post-concussive syndrome. They say it took some time for people in the church to notice she was hurt.
But when they realized that Miss Bird wasn't moving on the ground, people started surrounding her.
Bird spent several weeks at the Shepherd Center for rehab. She's now suing the church for tens of thousands of dollars they say she has in medical bills from the incident and for the dizziness, headaches, and memory loss her attorneys say she still suffers from.
She's not received an apology from the pastor of the church. She's not had medical bills paid for by the church. She doesn't feel comfortable. This was a family to her.
Bird and her family left the church after this incident. Her attorneys say they haven't heard from the pastor since. I reached out to Pastor Shields' office today about those claims. I left a message with his secretary. I also called attorneys representing him. I'm still waiting on them to call me back.
Wow, y'all, let's go in. First of all, I was looking at a lot of news today, and I was just thinking about this when I saw that news clip and I was reading up on this story. There are certain groups of people who can people with titles who can get away with anything. And I call those people the 3 Ps, and that is presidents, pastors, and porn stars. Y'all tell me if I'm right or am I wrong. Presidents who've come before, the one we have now, and some that have come before. different pastors that we've seen throughout history who are so hypocritical that they'll get and preach hell and damnation and all this kind of stuff, but they live totally contrary to what they preach. And not only pastors, that's other people too in the church. And then porn stars who just live so free and do any and everything. And it seems like they can get away with everything. Y'all let me know if I'm right or am I wrong on that. The presidents, pastors, and porn stars get away with everything. Everything. Maybe I'm in the wrong field. Look here. Now, this lady, Yvonne Bird, stated that she is waiting for an apology, that she did not get anything from the pastors, from anybody in the church who came by to make sure that she was okay after the situation. And you saw from based on what her lawyer said that during the service, they thought she was just out. The anointing knocked her out because people, oh, she just fell down. That's the anointing, letting God work on her. But this lady was unconscious. And it took, like the lawyer said, she stayed there for a few minutes until people's like, wait a minute, what's going on? She ain't waking up. What's going on? And then that's when they took her out of the service and then she went to the hospital. And this goes back to something that I've stated on my YouTube channel when I talk about situations like this, and that's letting everyone lay their hands on you. Now, that's a problem that I have with going to churches and evangelical meetings when people want to call you out and prophesy and lay hands on you and tell you what God said and what they say. Sometimes a lot of that stuff is just people just going off of a hunch or coincidence, or they see you and then they want to come up with this stuff, or they want to seem like they're so super spiritual and let me lay hands on you and oh, the glory cloud is on me. And if you don't sit your ass down, don't put your hands on me. I don't play that mess. That's probably why I don't go to churches. And one of the reasons, and I told a lot of you all why I left my last church. And that's because my pastor was dealing with depression, and his depression began to permeate throughout the congregation. And the attitude that came from all of that they say comes from the head and it goes to the body, it manifested itself in the body. And I went finna stay there and go crazy with none of them. Y'all could be depressed and, have these the shouting and stuff on Sunday, and you don't know if you're going to make it through, next Sunday, because I don't have time for that. You're not going to make me feel depressed. I'm not depressed. I don't believe God created me to be depressed. And if you're that depressed, you need to go get some psychiatric help, take some psychotropic medication. You need to go see a therapist. Now, that was one of the reasons. And it wasn't only that church. And it's funny to me because even when y'all know, tell me if I'm right or am I wrong. Even on social media, these people who are so super spiritual and God gonna do it. And oh, I feel the spirit and God woke me up this morning. And then 2 days later, you talking about how the devil got you, the devil busy, all this stuff, you feeling down. Oh, the spirit of depression on me. Now, come on, make up your mind. What is it gonna be? Is God gonna do it, or does the devil got you? Now, I don't even listen to people, right? Because that whole thing, it's like y'all sit here and y'all say, oh, God, I believe God, but the devil is busy. Oh, the devil is a liar. You say the devil name 15 times and say God name 1 time, and you wonder why your life is full of hell? Now, I know your pastor them not going to tell you this because they taking your tithe and your offering and they keep you coming back week after week making you think that, oh, I'm barely making it. Or if I could just get to the house of the Lord, I went through hell all week. You don't have to go through hell all week. If God is a mind regulator, he can regulate your mind at your house, in your car, on your way to work. You don't need Juanita Bynum to throw you no talent. You don't need TD Jakes to touch you on your head. You don't need Benny Hinn to blow on you. All that witchcraft that y'all have put in your mind based on if the man of God or the woman of God can touch me, and you see how these people act when people like you in these churches get hurt, when your family members die, when they think that they want to have some control over you. It's mind control, y'all. It's all mind control. I'm sorry. If y'all unsubscribe from me, unsubscribe, block me, or don't hit me up on Facebook. Don't pray for me. Don't send me nothing. It's all mind control. Because if y'all got it, like all the churches say we got it. Oh, God got it. Oh, we got it. Oh, we got the power in this church. How come the power is not permeating out of your walls, getting into your communities? The power does not get in the projects on Martin Luther King Boulevard. It does not go down to Rosa Parks Way. It does not go down to Malcolm X Lane. The power stays in your church. And matter of fact, it really is not power. It's just conjured up performance. We know how to have church. We know how to feel like it. Oh, we had church this morning. But when people are leaving church and they're taking pills and they're committing suicide or they're going to do risky behavior, did you really have church? Did you really have an encounter with God? Was people's life really changed when they came to your church? Or did they just get to go see, they couldn't go to the Jay-Z and Beyonce concert, but they got to go to your church because your church put on a good concert, but they didn't leave changed. Nothing in their lives got drastically changed. They didn't have an encounter with God that they could take it home with them and work on their relationship with God. They came to your church and they saw a performance. They came to your church and they saw how mean and how hateful people are and how people are only going to church for a fashion show. I laugh sometimes when people start telling me, oh, well, our church singing this and they singing this new song and we're doing this and we're doing that. And oh, we're having a step concert and we're doing all this. And I'm like, do you understand what just happened at Parkland in the United States of America? Do you understand a couple of months ago what just happened over in Las Vegas? Do you understand what people are doing in this world? Y'all sit, and even at churches, you're sitting here and you're putting on performance and you playing with God. And to me, this is what I feel like. This is what I feel like happening. Keep playing with God. Keep letting it be about your shoes and your Louis Vuitton and all these celebrities. And the world will continue to get worse. And you gonna sit here and say, Jesus is coming back. I can't wait for him to come back and straighten all this out. And I told y'all something, and some of y'all got mad with me, and I hope you get mad, and I hope it gets you mad enough that you can change. You're waiting for Jesus to come back, and perhaps Jesus is waiting for you to come up. Come up in your mind, in your consciousness, in your mentality, to understand that you have power and dominion that you have been given to change the world that you're living in now. You're waiting on Jesus to change it, but Jesus is waiting on you. If anything in this world ever is going to change, you are going to be the eyes, the arms, the legs, the feet of God. You gonna do something. Take up your bed and walk, or sit another 38 years and wait for Jesus to do it. Talk to your pastor about that. Now let me go ahead and wind this down. Y'all know I haven't been before you in about 2 weeks, so I had to get that off my chest. But let me say this to Miss Yvonne Bird. I understand you going through with this lawsuit, and a lot of people in the church, they're mad with her because she's already got the lawyer and they're going through with it. And some people feel that it's making the church look bad and that she's trying to bring, a stain to the body of Christ. But let me tell y'all something. As I stated with the video I did on Audrey Stevenson and the thing that happened at the Potter's house. I don't care if you're the janitor. I don't care if you're on the pulpit. I don't care if you're the pastor. I don't care if you're one of the celebrities that go to these mega churches. You matter. I don't care if nobody don't know your name. I don't care if you came from off the public transportation, from the homeless shelter to get to the church, and it's people who live better than you. You matter. And when stuff happens to the least of us, we should be concerned like we are very concerned when it happens to these popular people and these celebrities. See, this is where I have a problem with a lot of people who claim to be so-called Christians and loving and all this stuff, because you're only Christian and loving when it comes to people who are kind of like you or people that you aspire to be like in the church. Oh, well, guess what? Oh, some of the NBA players came to our church. Oh, and the mayor came to our church. Oh, and guess who else came to our church? But what about the women who came to your church who just came out of the homeless shelter with their children? What about the women and the men who just came from the prison and they came to your church? They just got out and they're in transitional housing. Don't they mean something too? Are you happy that they came to church? Because half of the time, if we just be honest, those are the people who really come in there trying to seek God and live better. But we want to be with all the celebrities and all the people who got names, and we want to hobnob with the rich and famous and hobnob with these people. And when you get up there hobnobbing with all your money and all your degrees and all your celebrity friends, and you find out that they just as suicidal like you, And you find out that I got me a nice rich husband and he loved me, but he don't come home to you and you in that big house by yourself. Oh, it starts getting real then. One thing we all have to realize, and that's one thing I'm going to start talking about in more of my videos, is that life happens to all of us. Please do not don't misunderstand and think because you a celebrity, you got some friends, you got some money, you got a couple of degrees. Look at you, your bad self with all your degrees. When life happens, life does not differentiate between your degrees, your celebrity, who you know, and what you got. Life happens to us all. And there's some stuff that if your mind is not solid and you don't have a strong mind, you will break. Everybody want to fix their body. Everybody want to get their body right. I want to fix my car. I want to get my credit fixed. Nobody don't want to work on their mind. Just remember, y'all, wherever you find your behind, your mind put it there. So if you're at a place in your life that you don't want to be there, you have your mind to thank for that. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think about this story. It's your guy, Dawson. Y'all take care of yourself and each other. And please, y'all, if y'all don't ever hear another video I do, one thing everybody got to start doing, you got to learn who you are. You got to learn who you are and have a relationship with yourself first before you start going to any relationship, any church, any organization. Because if you don't know who you are, people will tell you who you are and they'll give you their perception of what you should be. And some of y'all running around here like puppets trying to please everybody else and you don't know who you are. That's why you depressed. That's why you feel like I can't make it. That's why you feel you about to lose it. You about to lose it because you never got to know who you are. Before you get in a relationship, before you join a church, before you get in that sorority or that fraternity, know who you are first. Not what somebody tell you about you. Who are you? Y'all take care of yourself and each other. It's your boy Dawson. Y'all know I don't do this for no celebrity or no fame stuff because I tell this to the celebrities and some of the other people I talk to as well. I tell it to my mama and your mama too. We need to change in this world. And if we ever gonna change, somebody gotta be bold enough to say what people won't say and can't be bought by subscribers and likes and thumbs up and buying t-shirts and follow me here. You ain't gotta follow me nowhere. You ain't gotta donate nothing. Just change and let's make the world a better place. It's gonna start with us. Peace.